Welcome to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast. I am your host, Kayleigh Greenacre, a business strategist, coach, TEDx speaker, author, and your go-to woman for all things business strategy. I am obsessed with supporting female entrepreneurs to grow unstoppable six and multi-six-figure businesses that they love, giving them the freedom and life that they desire. During this podcast, I'll be sharing with you everything that you need to become a successful female entrepreneur, from the mindset shifts to sales and marketing strategies, and how to become an iconic leader that people can't get enough of. It is my mission to help you stand out, attract your dream clients and customers, and sell out of your offers with ease whilst building the business and life of your dreams. Let's make this your reality, ladies. Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of Actually I Can, the Female Entrepreneur podcast. And this week, I'm going to be diving into how to skyrocket your sales through magnetic messaging. So let's start by talking about the word messaging. Now, messaging isn't about what's on your sales page or how you describe your offer. It's actually about your positioning, your power, the energy behind every single post, story, email, and conversation that you have. And your messaging is what your audience feels before they click follow or even choose to buy from you. Now, so many women in the past have come to me thinking that they have an audience problem, a niche problem, a content problem. They say things to me such as, I feel like I need to get more visible, or maybe I need to try a new platform, or I think I need a new offer. But more often than not, what we actually discover is that it's not a visibility or platform issue. It's actually a messaging issue. And you see, your messaging is what tells people who you are, what you stand for, and why they should choose you over anyone else in your industry. Now, your audience need a message that speaks directly to their identity, to their next level and their urgency. And the most powerful shift that you can make in your business is actually realizing that your message isn't there to educate. It's actually there to activate. So your message isn't just what you do. It's who your client becomes because of your work. Because when they choose to work with you, they can get to that next level. Now, your premium clients, your dream clients, they don't buy based on those features. They don't care about how many modules or calls are included in your offer. They actually buy based on truth, based on belief, and they buy because your words make them feel seen. They make them feel heard because your story mirrors theirs, and because they feel this surge of possibility just by being in your energy. And that's what magnetic messaging does. Now, let's talk about what's probably happening in your content right now that's blocking you from conversions and sales. Now, there are 3 messaging mistakes that I see over and over again. And if you're doing any of these, it's time to address them and clear them up. So mistake number 1 is over-explaining. Now, this one's big. You're trying to prove your offer is valuable by cramming every single bit of detail into your content. But when you explain too much, you're not actually leading anymore. You're trying to convince your audience to buy. And the energy of convincing repels those self-led, ready-to-buy women. And they're ultimately your dream clients. Sales isn't logical, it's emotional. So what you need to do is to really lean in and speak to your dream client, evoking emotion. And I'll dive into that a little bit more in a moment. So that's the first mistake, over-explaining. The second mistake that I see again and again and again is speaking to the wrong version of your audience. So a lot of people think that they're talking to their ideal clients, but they're really speaking to the version of her who's still actually sitting on that fence, the version who's stuck in indecision, basically, the version who isn't actually ready to buy. And your job is to speak to the woman who is ready, who's sold on the result, but needs to know you're the one who can take her there. And when your messaging speaks directly to that version of her, the empowered, invested version, that's when the sales happen effortlessly. So that's mistake number 2, where they're speaking to the wrong version of your audience or your ideal client. And then the third mistake that I see quite often is playing safe. Now, if you're filtering your message, if you're toning it down, you're afraid of being too bold, too different, too much. And I do get it, being visible and opening up is quite vulnerable, but safe messaging blends in. And we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to be vanilla. We want you to stand out. And your dream client doesn't want another nice expert as such, or a vanilla expert. She wants a leader. She wants to feel your certainty, and she wants to follow the woman who's unapologetically rooted in her mission. So mistake number 3 is playing it safe. So let's dive into what actual magnetic messaging looks like. So magnetic messaging isn't about clever wordplay or trying to sound like everyone else. It's actually about your clarity, consistency, and your conviction. And these are the three pillars that will support you in making more sales. So let's break each of them down. So the first one is clarity. Now, clarity means being so specific about who you help and what transformation you offer that there's no room for confusion, because we don't want any of your audience to be confused. So when someone lands on your content, they should instantly know that this is for them. And you need to go beyond surface level benefits and get crystal clear about what your client will experience by working with you. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. What shift do they feel in their identity? What result becomes inevitable when they say yes? And if your audience has to guess or interpret what you do, they won't convert. So remember, confused people don't buy. That clear messaging, on the other hand, will build that instant trust and then allow them to see that what you have is possible for them and the transformation is possible for them. So they are more likely to buy from you. Okay, so that's the first one, clarity. The second one is consistency. Now, we hear this word so often in the online space, but it's so important in your messaging as well. Consistency is about repetition with intention. And the mistake I see all the time is female entrepreneurs getting bored of their message and actually pivoting before it even lands with their audience. But your audience needs to hear your message more than you need to say it. So repeating your message is not boring. It is extremely important as part of your messaging strategy and your sales strategy. So when your core message shows up in your posts, in your stories, your client testimonials, your program names, it creates identity and you become the one who does that one thing. And that clarity builds recognition and trust over time. So that consistency is really, really important. And the third thing is conviction. So conviction is the energy that makes your message land. So you can say all of the right things and still not sell if your energy behind your words isn't actually aligned. Your audience doesn't need to hear you. They need to feel you. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Am I speaking from embodied truth or trying to perform for approval? Am I owning my results or downplaying them to be palatable? And am I speaking with belief in my offer and my audience, or am I hesitating? Because remember, if you're hesitating, your audience will feel it and they will therefore hesitate to buy from you. That conviction, it doesn't mean that you have to yell. It means certainty. It's what communicates your audience that you know what you are here to do and you know it works. So they are the three things that are going to support you with magnetic messaging. So I want you to take a moment, whether you do this after listening to this podcast episode or you pause this episode right now and do this exercise. And I want you to have a little look at your content. Maybe look on Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever platform you use the most. And I want you to look at your last 5 or 6 pieces of content and ask yourself these 4 questions. First of all, is each message focused on one clear idea? Okay, so looking at each of the pieces of content, is the message that you're communicating, is it clear? Is there a clear idea there? That's number 1. Number 2, does it reflect what I deeply believe? Not what I think I should say. So does it actually reflect your belief, your deep beliefs? Number 3, am I speaking directly to the version of my client who's ready to move? So not those that are on the fence or hesitating, the ones that are ready to say yes. And then number 4, am I saying this enough times and in enough places for it to actually stick? So remember that consistency. So ask yourself those 4 questions around the content that you've recently posted. Okay. And if the answer isn't yes to all of those, then that's the gap and that's the work that you need to do. Remember, when your message is clear, your messaging is consistent and fueled by that conviction, your audience won't just then watch you. They're more likely to move and they're much more likely to say yes and actually buy from you. So if you're in a position where you're struggling with your messaging, first of all, take the advice that I've gone through in this podcast episode. And if you're ready to refine your messaging, to own your voice and become the woman whose content moves people to buy, then I want to invite you into the Iconic Era movement. There are currently 2 options to join the movement inside my 2 signature programs. And if you don't already know what they are, Firstly, there is Unstoppable, which is my best-selling all-in-one lifetime access program. This is for the women who are ready to grow their business to consistent 5K months and beyond. So if you're looking for a program with access to absolutely everything that covers every single business strategy that you need, then this is the perfect program for you. If you are currently in the position where you're looking to scale your business to 10K to 30K plus sales months, then Iconic the Mastermind would be perfect for you. This is for the female entrepreneur building a brand and an entire movement that attracts premium clients and legacy level opportunities. If you're in the position where you're looking to scale and to become the iconic leader in your industry, then Iconic the Mastermind is perfect for you. Both of these programs are so powerful and both will support you with skyrocketing your sales. Now, if you were interested in either of these, drop me a message or a DM on socials and we can discuss which is the right fit for you. Now, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast with me, your host, Kayleigh Greenacre. If you are ready to build, grow, and scale your dream six-figure or multi-six-figure business, then head to our website now for more information or connect with me on socials to see how you can create your dream business and dream life.